So in this episode, we'll be pitting the Tombow Fudenosuke hard tip pen against the Pentel Fude touch sign pen. So these are both big cult favorites, so it's going to be a tough one, I guess. And well, this might not be your first time seeing them being compared, but let's hope that I can give you some insight that's slightly different, maybe. Alright, so let's get started with the Tombow hard tip. So this is actually my favorite go-to pen when I'm having the shakes, and well, for good reason. It's really very stiff. I get pretty good upstrokes out of it that are really fine without me having to stress out too much about it, and the transitions are easy to work with, right, with pretty good variation as well. So this is the hard tip, right? See, that's what I mean by when you're having a bad day. At least like the variations are okay to come by. It's just that it's harder to join things up properly, and my aiming's a little off today. But this is the hard tip, right? So the hard tip used to only come in black, but now it comes in, I think, 10 colors. But I'm not sure if they're available outside the US yet. I haven't had a chance to try them because, well, last I checked, as of the filming of this video anyway, they're only available within the US, so I haven't been able to get my hands on it yet. So maybe I'll get my hands on it later on, and then you can get a review on it. But the odds are the colored ones wouldn't be too different from the black. It's just that there are a bunch of colors, right? I mean, that's the point. So that's the Tombow Fudenosuke hard tip. The next one up is actually another favorite that was one of the few pens that came in color. One of the few small pens that came in color is the Tombow. What am I saying? So it's the Pentel Fude touch sign pen. Not to be confused with all the other 10,000 Pentel sign pens out there. It's a really huge line. So the Fude touch sign pen can be differentiated from just a regular sign pen by its barrel. So it actually has little bits of glitter. I'm not sure if the camera can pick it up, but if you look for pictures online like closely, you can actually see that there's glitter on the barrel, and that's how you tell the difference between the brush tip and the bullet tip. The other trick there is to look for this Fude word on the, what was I saying? Alright, you look for the word Fude on the barrel itself, but if you don't read Japanese, or you don't really have a grounding in any Asian languages, it might be a little bit difficult to differentiate these things. So the other alternative is the glitter. So let's get to trying this one out. So again, there is a very, very slight difference here. This one is softer, which makes it a little bit finickier to work with. And the variation isn't as obvious. I'm not sure if you can actually see the difference here because it looks very, very similar unless you're staring at it up close. And this is slightly softer. When I was first starting out, I found these harder to use because they were just so soft. I mean, now that it's been quite some time, it's not that bad anymore, but that's because of practice. So this actually comes in 12 colors. And there are actually a whole bunch of other colored small pens that have come up to fill this gap in the market now. But this is one of the first. So I'm using black here simply because, apples to apples for most part. But let's just take a look at how these write in the larger font. So I'm going to start with the touch sign first, and for today's word, let's go with small. Right, so this is it with the Pentel Fude touch sign pen. The problem with all these small pens is that the names are so long and so confusing. Right, and then this is the Tombow in comparison. So I'm a lot more comfortable with the Tombow because I don't have to stress as much when it comes to transitions. It's really a lot smoother to write with. You can kind of see that as a whole it's just generally smaller. The variation's about the same, but you get finer hairlines with it, and it's just stiffer, so it's easier to handle as a beginner. It's one of my favorite beginner pens, which is why but at the same time, I guess different people like different things. I like hard tips, there are others who prefer soft tips. So generally, if when I'm putting together my starter kits, I put both of these in there so that you can have the one that you prefer. You can test them out and see which one works best for you. And that's all for what's out on the table today. So as usual, if you'd like to keep us floating, you could buy me a coffee to keep this going if you like what we're doing here, and otherwise just leave me a comment. I'll appreciate that as well. If not, I'll see you next week for another episode of Out on the Table, comparing Crayola brush pens, rather Crayola markers, against the outline sticks. Okay, see you next time. Bye.